Okay. So we are going to continue. So those are the formats of our debtors control account and creditors control account. And those are the list of accounts that you may find in your control account. So another thing that I want to tell you about is the days. So the dates are very much important. So when it comes to control accounts, please listen very attentively. When it comes to control accounts, the balance is always on the first. So you write the year, you write the, oh, I realized that, okay, before we do 2.2, which is preparing our control accounts, we actually have a question of 2.1. Ne? There's a question of 2.1. So 2.1, you are asked to identify the purpose of preparing control accounts. So what is the purpose of drawing up control accounts? So this is theory part, and it is in your study guides. Ne? It's in your study guides. So the reason of drawing up control accounts, or the purpose of preparing control accounts, the main purpose of preparing control accounts is to calculate, to find the total balance of our debtors, to calculate our debtors balance. That's a purpose. Ne? So but we have a lot of purposes in our study guides. Just go through your study guide, but I think it's fundamentals B, fundamentals A. Ne? So this topic is in fundamentals A, and I think the reasons of, or the purpose of drawing up your control accounts will also be found in fundamentals A study guide. But yeah, I'll go through. I think I have a study guide in my PC if I'm not mistaken. So let me quickly look for it. So the purpose of okay. So it says that a control account summarizes our ledger accounts. So first, the main purpose is to calculate our debtors balance. Ne? That is a very important purpose of drawing up a control account. And another purpose is also that a control account summarizes a set of accounts. It is kept as a summary of your debtors. So those are the purposes of control accounts, but I'm sure if you go in your study guide, there are plenty of them. It's only that I can't really remember all of them. Yeah. So please just go through your study guide. I'm sure you'll find them. So we move on to 2.2. Okay. So 2.2, I was saying that when it comes to the date, it's very important. Writing the date is very important when it comes to debtors control account. So the date first, the balance brought down is always on the first day of the month. Balance brought down is always on the first day of the month. Every other transaction is on the last day of the month. So basically, the balance brought down is the only transaction that will be on the first day of the month. All other transactions will be on the last day of the month. So in this case, it was of May 2011. So you start 2011, May the first, which
Yes.
is the balance brought down. So we are dealing with our debtors control account, ne? So we are given a list of balances consisting of information that goes in our debtors control account and that goes in our creditors control account. So looking at that first, on the 1st of May, we're given balances of our debtors ledger balances. Ne? So we're given our balances of our debtors control account. So we are told that our debtors were 19,744. So our balance brought down is 19,744.
19.
You understand? And then from there, all other transactions are recorded on the last day of the month. So May the 31st. So your sales will be May the 31st. Okay, and then from there we start recording all transactions that have to do with our debtors control account. So let's go transaction by transaction, or account by account. So we have debtors ledger balance. That is our opening balance. We recorded it. And then we move on to creditors. Okay, no, that goes in our creditors control account. And then we have sales journal. Ne? So we have sales journal. So obviously the sales journal, that is our sales amount, our total credit sales. So our total credit sales, obviously that will go in our debtors control account. So it's 199,662. And then from there we move on with purchases journal. No, purchases journal will go in our
19.
creditors control account. And then we have sales returns journal. So sales returns journal will go in our debtors control account. We have sales returns here, obviously on the credit side. So our sales returns will be, our sales returns is 4556. And then from there we have purchases returns goes in our creditors. We have checks and cash received from customers. So we have cash and check received from customers. This simply means that this now our debtors paid off their accounts. So obviously it's either, you are told it's cash, is bank or cash, and the amount is 185 960, the cash or bank that we received, the checks and cash that we received of 185 960. And then we have check paid to suppliers. Obviously this will go to our creditors, our suppliers, our creditors. Petty cash paid to suppliers as well will go to our creditors. And then we have discount allowed. Obviously discount allowed will go to our debtors control account, because we are the one allowing discount to our debtors, amounted to 5,830. I hope we understand. And then from there we go to, we are left with discount received. Discount received, obviously this will go to our creditors control account. And then we have balances on the debtors ledger set off against balances in the creditors ledger. So we have a set off of 1036. So we record our set off in our debtors control account, 1036. Ne? And then from there you are told under this one, the list of balances from creditors ledger shows a total of 14,530, and that from the debtors ledger a total of 22,024. So these are our closing balances. Okay.
2,156.
So these are our closing balances, and we're gonna use them, or when we are going to calculate our closing balances, we make sure that we get those amounts. Okay, so those are information that have to do with our debtors control account. So let's go to our creditors control account. So we say that in this case, for example, we do not have interest received, so we just put a zero. I'm sure you won't be penalized because of this. So you put zero, but in other words, if you feel like erasing this, then you can always exclude them.
Refund.
Okay, and then from there, we go to our creditors control account. So the first thing we said is that balance, it's the 2011 May the 1st. So our balance brought down, we are told that our balance creditors ledger balances is 11,874. 874. And then we made a purchases of sorry. And then the next one we said we have purchases journal of 154,562. So we have 154 562. And then from there, that was our purchases. And then from there we move on. So we have sales. We say sales is going under data. So we have purchases returns. So we go to our purchases returns and then we record the amount. So purchases returns is 2,648,000. And then from there, okay, we have checks paid to suppliers, cash or bank. Now in this case, it's divided, ne? So in this case, it's divided with we have cash and bank. So we have bank and cash. In this case, with the creditors, what they did is they divided the two, cash and bank. Unlike in the debtors, we are told checks and cash received. So it's bank and cash. Now in this case, they were divided. You told the checks paid to suppliers were 146, 146, 100, and then cash paid, petty cash paid to suppliers was 78, and this is petty cash. And then from there, we move on to discount received. So we received a discount of 2,134, right? 2,134. And then from there we have a set off. So we record our set off. We said a set off is always on both the control accounts. 1036. Okay. Now from there, what we need to do is we need to balance off our control account. We need to balance off our control account. So let's quickly balance off. So balancing off, we balance them off just like any other account. We add all sides together and then we subtract the smaller side from the bigger side. So obviously looking at this, we can already tell that our debit side is the biggest. So you have 199,662 plus 19,744. So on both sides we have 219,406 as our balancing figure, 219406, and then we subtract our smaller side from the balancing figure, and this is our balance carried down. This is our balance carried down. Okay, so 419460 minus 4556, and then you minus 1036, then you minus 5830, and then you minus 185 960, and then you get 22,024. So you get 22,024. And if you check on the 31, the list of your balance carried downs, ne? You are told that your debtors has 22,024, meaning that the information that we recorded is correct, meaning that we are correct. So for every balance carried down, there should be a balance brought down on the opposite side on the following day. So 2011, May, April, so the following day will be April. April the 1st, you have balance brought down of 22,024. Okay, and then from there, now that you are done with our debtors control account, we go to our creditors control account and balance it off. So looking at the our creditors control account, you can already tell that our credit side is the biggest. So we find the biggest amount. So 154,562 plus 11,874. Okay, 154,562 plus 18,784 will give us 166. How can I add another? No, guys, I'm trying to add. Oh, it says that I can't. Okay, let me just got the set off here. Set off of 1036. Okay. Okay. And then from there, what we do next? Okay, we got our balancing figure, which is 166,436. I hope we got the same amount. 166,436. And then from there, we subtract our smaller side from the balancing figure. So obviously, the difference will be our balance carried down. So 166,436 minus 1036 minus 2648 minus 2134. Then you minus 78. Then you minus 146, 100. How much will you get? Wait, what did I do? How much are you guys getting? I calculated wrongly. 11,874 plus 154,562. 166436. We minus 1036 minus 2648. Then we minus 2134. Then you minus
194.
minus 146,100 minus
Oi, Climb your love.
uh,
No, but I can't do it.
okay 14 I'm not sure if maybe we recorded the amounts wrongly, but let me quickly go through the amounts that we recorded because you're not getting the same amounts. Okay, so the balance was 11,874, which is correct, and then we have a purchases of 154,562, that is correct, and then we have bank of 146,100, and then we have purchases returns 1648, discount received 2134, and then we have petty cash of 78, and then we have a set of 1036. Okay, how much are you guys getting? Anyone doing the calculations to see how much you got? Because I'm not getting the same amount. 2648. Anyone doing the calculations? Because they're actually supposed to get 14,530, but it happens to be that we're not getting that. I am not getting that, but we recorded everything. Is there no one doing calculations as well?
Let me see.
Okay, 1036.
I was doing the calculation. I was also getting
Pardon?
14440.
Pardon?
I was doing the calculation also, but I also get 14,440.
Ne? And it says that we're supposed to get 14,530. So that's $90. Is what I do not understand. Now I'm trying to figure out when if we maybe recorded the wrong amount, but